Hey there, Nancy Drew Clue crew. I'm Maura, and welcome to another video walkthrough of the Nancy Drew game series. Today, I'm playing Warnings at Waverly Academy, the 21st game in the series. And it takes place in an upstate New York boarding school for girls.
Hi, I'm Nancy Drew. This is my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia from all my past cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That'll tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way.
All right, let's dive into the case file, then I'll click on the plane ticket.
The headmistress at the Waverly Academy for Girls has asked me, begged me actually, to discover who's been leaving mysterious notes for students there and causing the strange accidents that always follow them. So malicious was the last accident, the parents of its victim are threatening to sue the school if the perpetrator isn't identified. Fast.
Yikes, a potential lawsuit.
Pretending to be a transfer student named Becca Sawyer, I'm going to go undercover at the upstate New York boarding school and hopefully find the culprit. I have to use a fake name instead of my real one because if any of my soon-to-be classmates plug the name Nancy Drew into an online search engine, my cover would be blown in an instant. And to make sure no one sees or hears anything that could give me away, the headmistress has forbidden me to contact her, which means I'm about to be tossed, totally on my own, into a world of bright, privileged, clique-conscious teenage girls. This could be my scariest case yet.
Oh, Becca Sawyer. Is that maybe a reference to Becky Thatcher and Tom Sawyer from said book, Adventures of Tom Sawyer? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so as I said, this takes place in upstate boarding school for girls, so the entire suspects, all the suspects are going to be female ones. Like, I think this is the only one to have suspects all be the same gender. And curiously, the plane ticket is right here within the case file instead of on the desk like usual. So I'm going to just click on it, and of course I'm going to go with Junior Detective. Now it begins with 2 weeks ago, before Nancy's arrival. Oh, she's locked in the closet. Oh, her name's Danielle, according to the captions here.
This isn't funny. Let me out! Let me out!
Wow, that's a real act of desperation. Knock of desperation, I mean. Okay, now we cut to Nancy's arrival at the school. Now she's meeting her roommate,
Hey,
Corrine.
you're the new person. Becca something. Becca Sawyer. I'm Corrine, the person who's stuck rooming with you. I mean, you're the person who's stuck rooming with me. Anyway, welcome to our humble dwelling space.
You don't mind having a roommate?
Not at all. The roommate I used to have, Danielle.
So that girl in the opening scene, that was her roommate.
I was told you could help me, get oriented.
Oh yeah, you bet. Let's see. First thing you gotta do is read the Waverly Student Guide, which is online. If you don't have a laptop, it doesn't look like you do. That one little bag is all you brought?
All my stuff's being shipped from France, Lyon. It'll be here in a couple of days. But please, go on.
Anyway, you can get online by jumping on the computer in the library. Just make sure you read the part in the guide about Waverly's demerit system really well. It's enforced by Paige. Believe me, you do not want to mess with her. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, this floor is special because only seniors who are viable candidates for valedictorian.
Oh, is that cello music I hear?
Valedictorian gets a full ride scholarship to the university of her choice, so it's a pretty big deal. Of course, the only truly viable candidate is me. Oh, and I should probably tell you about the curse.
Curse?
The curse?
Some of the kids on this floor have been getting these, threatening notes from someone calling herself the Black Cat. Well, the first note's a warning, but if you get a second one, Something really bad happened.
That must have happened to
And last week,
Danielle.
the girl in the room next door, Megan Vargas, she got a second note, and that night she ate something at dinner she was allergic to and had such a bad reaction that she had to go home. Somebody's obviously playing a prank, but a lot of kids are starting to get really freaked
That
out.
sounds a little more than just a prank
Wait
to
a
me.
minute. You mean the only girls to get notes from this black cat person are girls who are in the running to be valedictorian?
I hadn't really thought of it that way, but yeah, I guess that's right. Maybe somebody's jealous of us smart kids or something, or maybe it's one of us. Maybe someone's trying to scare off her competition. Whatever. It's not gonna work on me.
What are you working on? You look so busy.
Busy? That's the understatement of the year. I've got 4 days to finish a 30-page research paper that has to be fully annotated, utilizing a bibliography that has to include at least 6 published, no online stuff, published sources. Any normal student would hate having you bug them like this. But then, I'm not all that normal, so you can bug me all you want. Not that you're bugging me. Well, you are technically, but you're not really because I'm so... Never mind.
Have you ever gotten one of these black cat notes?
Yeah, I got one about 3 days ago.
Really? Where'd you find it?
On the floor over there. Somebody slipped it under the door during the night. I took one look at it and tore it up. But if you'd like to see the note my ex-roommate got, that one's right here. She had kind of a bad experience. Got locked in a pitch-black closet overnight. See, she was claustrophobic, so when they found her the next morning, she could barely talk.
So that was the
And when I
first
came back
note.
from class that afternoon, she just...
Well, she got another note according to the prologue, so it must
just
be around
gone.
here.
When she got this, how did she react?
She tried to laugh it off, but I think she was scared.
Oh, look at Corinne's laptop. She's got
What about
Coco
the second
Kringle
note?
label.
There wasn't a second note.
Ah, that famous chocolate bar
She never
that was
said anything
introduced
about it.
in Secret of the Scarred Hand. So let's ask where the cello music's
Where's
coming
that
from.
cello music coming from?
Next door. That's Mel Corbelis.
Has she gotten a black cat note?
I'm not sure. Her roommate did, though. She's the one who got so sick she had to go home.
Well, guess I'd better go start meeting people.
Yeah, I guess you'd better. I'm not so bad, right?
What do you mean?
It's just that, well, you're about to find out that I'm not exactly the most... Never mind. You'll see soon enough.
All right, let's unpack. Oh, it's a picture of Bess and George from the previous game, Ransom of the Seven Ships. I recognize the setting and their appearance, but why would they want a picture that wasn't a memorable experience? Bess being
Someone
kidnapped
named
and all.
Rachel wants me to come to her room.
Rachel Hubbard. She's in the room at the end of the hall.
All right, so let's make that my next chore. Let's exit the door, or exit the room.
Whoa, watch it. Oh, your hair's on fire. No wonder you're in a hurry.
Hair's on fire.
My hair's on fire?
Just kidding. Red hair looks really good on some people.
Oh, so we know what Nancy's
Miss
hair
Brown.
color is.
I'm Becca Sawyer. I just transferred here.
Where are you from?
From the States originally, but I came here by way of France. It's a long story.
Chouette alors. Let me have your cell phone.
My cell phone?
Yeah, so I can set you up on the local network. It'll just take a second.
Okay.
This way, you'll be able to get texted and keep up on all the breaking news.
Yeah, and throughout the game, I'm going to get text messages at random times, and I'm gonna
Lately, I've been spending
always
most
check
of my time
them
in the library.
because-
So come talk to me. I'm student body president, which means when it comes to the lay of the land, I got the best map. See ya.
some text messages are important than others when I help you progress in the game, so that's why I'll be checking them periodically whenever I get new alerts. Okay, Rachel's right here. So this is Izzy's room and her roommate, Leela. And I guess it's empty. So here's Rachel's room.
I'm here. You must be Becca Sawyer. Did you see my note?
I did if you're Rachel Hubbard.
That's me. And boy, am I glad you're here. See, I've got this web design project that's due by the end of the break. Only I've got 2 papers to write by then, too. So, since you're a transfer and you won't really have anything to do until classes start, I was hoping you could help me.
Oh, look at this. This is a poster from the Royal Palladium. It was on the back of the magician's room, the secret room in the final scene. And this image here on the mug looks like from the opening logo of Ransom of the Seven Ships. Oh, how interactive. View of the little references you make to past games. I love
Not
it.
that much to know. I'm Rachel Hubbard. I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm
Oh,
here on scholarship.
Pittsburgh. I happen to live just an hour away from Pittsburgh myself.
Unless everybody else totally messes up. I love dogs.
I love dogs,
cauliflower.
too.
My favorite subject's math.
And math is one of
I
my
am
favorite
desperate.
subjects, too.
Look.
Well, I'm not in school anymore, but it's something at which I was always adept.
The pages I'm designing will be part of the Waverly School school website.
You sure that's not cheating?
Positive. It's a design class, not a photography class. What the pictures are of and where they appear on the page are all that's important, and that'll be totally up to me.
Well, I guess I could help you. Sure.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we do need to help her. It's
what you
big
need
chore
to
to
do first
progress the game.
Take a picture of all the valedictorian candidates. Here are their names.
So that'll be the next step I'll do.
Of course.
Great. After you've taken everybody's picture, get on the computer in the library and upload them according to the instructions on that sheet. I'll check the pictures once they're up. If I want you to take any of them over, I'll leave a note for you on the page. When you're done, report back to me, all right? I may need you to do something else. In the meantime, I'm about to be late for a meeting with my advisor, so if you could get started, that would be great. I really appreciate this, Becca. See you later, okay?
Okay, so go ahead and start meeting the students so I can get pictures of them. Here's Mel's room.
It's open.
Whoa, looks like from the way she's dressed and her room is decorated, looks like Mel is a goth girl.
Who are you? I'm Becca Sawyer. I just moved into the room next door.
Oh, yeah, you're the transfer. The one who got kicked out of some school in France?
What?
What? No, I didn't.
Waverly's
I love how
primary
she says,
source of
"What?"
all wisdom and truth has been suggesting otherwise. Hey, look, I don't really care, but you got to admit it's kind of weird to be changing schools in the middle of your senior year. And the fewer
So the
gory
gossip
details
about
you
her has
provide us
started
more,
already.
the more kids are going to talk. Or should I say text?
So text messages will include gossip.
So I'm the source of rumors
In this game.
already?
Welcome to Waverly.
Where's your roommate?
She's the one who was sent home because of an allergic reaction to something she ate after being cursed by the black cat.
You sound a little skeptical.
That she does.
Black cat is just someone playing an idiotic prank. End of story. Of course, it's not the end of the story for my roommate Megan, who wound up having to go home sick with an allergic reaction that almost
Sheesh.
killed her. But it's still a stupid prank.
Oh my gosh, what exactly happened to her?
Look, enough about the black cat. The other girls can buy into that garbage all they want, but the pea brain that's behind this, I refuse to give her the satisfaction. So if you have questions for Megan, I think you should call her yourself. 845-555-1849.
How well do you know the girl I'm rooming with, Corrine?
Probably better than anybody. She doesn't have a lot of friends, but she's incredibly smart. Plus, she's a social outcast too, so we get along pretty well.
Who's smarter, you or Corrine?
She thinks she's smarter than everybody and won't hesitate to say so. Which
Well,
I think
that
automatically makes
that
me smarter.
sounds true the way she
It's
said.
probably
The only
a
truly
toss-up.
viable candidate
No
is me.
No biggie. Don't you want to be valedictorian?
I'm going to college no matter what. But everyone else wants to be valedictorian so much, I can't resist trying to spoil it for them.
Who else is Corrine friends with?
Well, I'll have to get back to you on that one.
You play that cello pretty well.
Thank you. I taught myself to play when I was 10.
Do you play any other
Self-taught.
instruments?
That's
Yeah,
cool.
The keyboard. As in synthesizer, not computer. Although I'm pretty good with computers too.
How well do you know Rachel?
Not well. We don't hang out.
With whom does she hang out?
That is something you'll have to ask her. I just know I don't. We have nothing in common. Plus, there's something about her that's a little off.
What do you mean by off?
She's just a little strange, and not in a genius sort of way either. In fact, when it comes to being valedictorian, it's a mystery how she ever made it this far.
Mel sounds like she's calls herself a social outcast, so I'm assuming she's a bit of a loner, but
I need to take a closer
takes
look
comfort
for a
in
page
that.
on the school website I'm helping put up.
The school wants my picture on its website? Groovy. Blast away.
all right, just take the photo by default as the screen sets it up. Don't leave them
Where can I
hanging
find
for too
Leela
long.
Yadav? I need to take her picture.
Leela Yadav is Izzy Romero's roommate. The room's on the other side of the study area.
I'll let you get back to your music.
Door's always open.
Okay, I want to look at around in here a moment. Oh, goth version of the Naughty Tina doll from Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. She also made a creepy pop-up in Legend of the Crystal Skull, if you remember in that walkthrough. So we have to look at this sampler.
Wonder why it was spelled with two
O's instead of one. So that's a little
Is this
clue that
sampler
Nancy
as old as
points
it
out
looks?
right there.
It's old, that's for sure. My great-great-great-grandmother made it. She was in the first class of students to graduate from here. Everybody in my family who attends Waverly has to hang that thing in her room. It's tradition.
Did your mother graduate from here?
And her mother and her mother's mother, ad infinitum. I come from a long line of Waverly grads. I'm what you call a legacy. I was admitted automatically.
Let me take a look at the list. Let me see if I can ask Mel if she has her roommate's picture.
Becca the new girl, what's going on?
I need a photo of your roommate Megan for the school website. Would you happen to have one?
Sure don't. But Leela Yadav might. She and Megan have been palling around lately. Check the rec room downstairs.
Maybe I'll pop in again later.
Drop in anytime.
Okay, I'm going to go to the library because I need to get on the school computer. And Izzy's in there. There's a good reason what I need for this. Okay, so when I get a text message alert like that, it's best to check.
I'm being gossiped about already? That sure didn't take long.
You can say that again. All right, so we have to go into Waverly's website, but unfortunately, we don't know the password. So when you click on this, see student body president for assistance, and she's right here in the library with me.
Bonjour. Unfortunately, that and Chouette are all the French I know. Hey, my condolences on your roommate assignment. You know, it might not be too late to get it changed. You don't like Corinne either? Nobody likes Corinne. Why not? Because she's Corinne. And Corinne is just not cool. But look, don't worry. Everyone knows rooming with Corinne wasn't your idea. As long as you don't hang out with her.
Well, she doesn't, yeah, given her surname, Izzy Romero, she might be Italian-American, I'm not sure.
Do you like your roommate? My roommate's Leela Yadav, athletic superstar and savior of Waverly's athletic program. We actually get along fine. Probably because we're pretty much equals. Everyone knows who she is.
Or she could have
his, I am.
you know, Hispanic roots.
Avoid
I don't
hanging out
know.
with your roommate as much as possible. Okay, if I take a close-up of you, Rachel needs it for the school website. Rachel roped you into helping her, huh? Lucky you. Your first day, you get to spend it with every loser in our class. Ready for my close-up, darling?
All right, just same as before. When it's set like as is, it's fine. Like its default settings, it's fine for the
I
take
get
the snapshot of
Rachel's not one
of
of
the
your
girl.
favorite people. She's no one's favorite people. Even Corinne doesn't like her. She seems nice enough. She has no business being here, either socially or academically, and she knows it. She makes no effort to fit in because she knows she never will. Gotta give her that much. Apparently, I need to get a password from you before I can use the school's computer. That's right. Unfortunately, I need to finish this DNA model before I can give it to you. Too bad, huh?
Oh, so she's subtly asking us to do it for her.
Want me to help you? Sure, you bet. Excellent idea.
An eye for an eye.
Here's what you need to do.
There's always a
Just have
catch,
to
you
make
know,
sure adenine is
in these
always
games.
paired with thymine, and cytosine is always paired with guanine. And make sure each pair is connected to a sugar on the alternating sugar phosphate side. Just jump in, you'll figure it out. When you're done, bring it back, and if you get it right, I'll tell you the password. Sounds good. What else is going on? What's your take on Mel? All that edgy, free spirit, deep thinking stuff is just an act. She knows she can't cut it here, so she's making it look like she doesn't care. Maybe she really doesn't care. Everybody cares what other people think. In fact, if they don't, they're psychopaths. I just learned that in AP Psych. Have you gotten any notes from the Black Cat? Everyone on the Valcan floor has. The valedictorian candidate floor. Our floor. Has anything like this ever happened before? Not as far as I know. Although, supposedly, there was a teacher here once, a long time ago, that none of the students liked. They were always playing tricks on her, scaring her and stuff, until one day one of their pranks gave her a heart attack, and she died.
Good
The
heavens.
Black Cat went running off into the woods during the funeral and never came back. But for years after that,
Oh, that reminds me of Red Knot talking about the legend of the ghost dogs, that the 4 dogs went running off in the woods after he was arrested, which turned out to be completely untrue.
To get revenge. Somebody around here is obviously trying to get some mileage out of a silly ghost story. One the headmistress is trying desperately to squelch, by the way. So remember, you didn't hear it from me. Any idea who the Black Cat is? It's Mel. See, like I said, she's a little psycho. And Black
Just
Cat
because she's a
strange
goth girl?
slaps. It all fits in with that inane goth thing she's got going. I mean, who else could it be? I need to get
Don't you ever
going.
think of other
Adios.
possibilities? All right. Okay, the DNA model's right here. So that's the pairings, adenine and thymine, yellow and black, red cytosine and blue guanine. They pair together. So let's see. And you have to fill these up not only to have each pairing color combined, but all the gaps have to be filled up. Let me show you what I mean. First, put. Okay. Probably best to do the red and blue first because there's fewer of those than yellow and black pairs. Okay, like that, for example, the bottom part fills it all up completely here. Let's see if that doesn't work because you can't have the lengths overlap. Could this be it? Yeah, I think it is. No, because that won't fill up. Let's see if that works. No. That should do it. Can't forget this one. Just got to make sure they're all filled up. That should do it. Okay, just make sure like everything's filled up and nothing's overlapping. With the links, like the brown and the phosphates and the sugars and the pink links that connect them. All right, let me give it to her.
Finished with that DNA model? You tell me. Awesome.
All right.
Okay, your password is WAC35NE136. WAC35NE136. Got it. Thanks. What else is going on? What do you think your chances are for making valedictorian? Chance has nothing to do with it. I deserve to be valedictorian. Therefore, I'm going to be valedictorian.
And what if
What
there's
if
a tie?
a tie for the highest grade point average? It's not just a matter of getting the highest grades. The faculty also looks at extracurricular activities, leadership, community service, school spirit, things I totally excel at. I'm going to be valedictorian, and then I'm going to Harvard.
Wow, that's pretty
I need
ambitious
to get going.
of you.
Bye, Mom.
To want to go to a prestigious place like Harvard. Here's Lost and Found. The Roman numerals here give out the combination. I know what it is, but I'll just look to show what they are. Takes me back to Ghost Dogs and Moon Lake because we had to learn Roman numerals there too. All right, now let me get on here using the password I have now. What could this be?
Looks like Mel got another note.
Okay, yeah, just as I said, every time you hear a text message alert, always look, because some could be more important than others, but I think it's always vital to check. Okay,
I'm in charge of the
snack shop boss.
This should be interesting. I don't even know where it is.
Well, I do, so... Okay, I need pictures of everybody, so I'm not going to be able to do that yet, but let me use this to the library catalog to look up more from that sampler, see if this will lead to anything. Storia 4, check shelf. All right, that shelf is right over here. But unfortunately, it's locked.
Looks like I need a key.
And I should warn you that, yeah, if you pull this, the flag will fall down and break the glass, and you get demerits for that. So I don't want to take that risk because I wouldn't get the book anyway. But there is a way I can. Just go to the library assistant, Corrine Myers, and I will do that shortly. But I want to go to the rec room to meet Leela. But you know what? Before I do that, why don't I give Megan a call? Oh. I didn't know that could happen.
This is Megan. Hi, my name is Becca Sawyer. I'm a new student at Waverly, and I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, if that's okay. I mean, I know you've been sick.
No, go ahead. I'm still kind of weak, but talking on the phone's not going to kill me.
What exactly happened to you anyway?
I was eating dinner at school 3 nights ago when all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. And when I tried to stand up, I got so dizzy I fell right over. So they rushed me to the hospital, and by the time I got there, I was turning blue, and my blood pressure was down to like 40/20 or something.
Whoa.
I'd gone in anaphylactic shock. But then they pumped me full of epinephrine, so by morning I was all stable and stuff. My parents were real upset. They dragged me home with them, and they still haven't said when they're going to let me go back. I even heard them talking about suing the school. Anyway, now I'm real upset. I really miss Waverly. For the
So
most
she's
part.
the one
What do
whose
you
parents
mean?
are
Is there
threatening to
something
sue
about
the
it you
school.
don't miss?
About 10 days ago, someone slipped a note under my door. All it had on it were the words, "The Black Cat wants you to start packing," and a paw print with some scratch marks.
Weird.
Then, about a week later, I got another note. All it said was, "Time's up." I went to dinner the next night, and
Wound up in the hospital. You think whoever sent you that note tampered with your food and deliberately triggered that allergic reaction?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence. I've been to the emergency room on account of my stupid allergies so many times, it's ridiculous. And even if someone did put something in my food, I'm still here. I mean, I always recover. It's not like they were trying to kill me or anything.
The thing that triggered your reaction, do you have any idea what it was or how it got in your food?
I'm allergic to tree nuts, almonds, walnuts, cashews. My mom's always telling me to pay more attention to what I'm eating, but I'm really bad at that.
Did many kids at Waverly know about your allergies before this last episode?
Everybody knew. School policy. That way kids wouldn't give me anything with nuts in it. At least, that was the plan.
If you had to guess, who would you say the Black Cat is?
Izzy Romero.
Why her?
Because she's the sneakiest, most spiteful person I've ever known. You've probably met her by now, and I know she doesn't seem that way, but you're new. Just wait.
Could you email me your picture? I need it for the school's website.
Sorry, the camera on my cell phone died on me, and my parents don't have a scanner here. But I think Leela has a decent picture of me. Go ask her. Leela
Well,
Yada.
Izzy does come off as a bit conceited, I can tell you that.
See ya.
All right, so confirmation we can get from Leela, but before I talk to her, I'm gonna go right here. This is where the snack shop is. Gotta do it at least once a day or you get
Step right up.
demerits.
The snack shop is open.
So I want to make sure I do that to avoid demerits.
You know, I hate to admit it, but I
Cookies, you have a cookie dough here. You just put it in this little oven to heat it up.
I love going to that class.
Everybody does. Mr. Harris is like the best looking teacher in the whole universe.
Order's ready.
It's supposed to snow pretty soon. Blizzard type snow.
Food's ready. Order up.
So I think you have to usually, or doing it snack shop, you get 5 to 6 orders before you're done.
There. All done.
And get a little surprise here.
Whoa.
What could this be a
Wonder
key
what
to?
This is to.
Well, it's to right here, this closet. Oh, this looks like the closet where Danielle got locked in. And if I turn on the light, I find another key. All right, let me go talk to Leela. I guess she's a Waverly athlete.
She must be the girl who came all the way from France with just the clothes on her back.
Hence why she's hanging out in the rec room here.
Becca Sawyer.
I'm Leela Yadav. Welcome to Waverly.
Yeah, what happened to your
What
wrist?
happened to your wrist?
I took a really freak fall and sprained it. I'm supposed to rest it for at least a week. That's why I'm in here instead of the gym shooting baskets. Playing the games in here keeps my reflexes sharp. People think I'm just saying that, but it's true. In fact, let's play air hockey. Come on! By helping me stay in shape, you'll be helping out your new school. You want to get off on the right foot here, don't ya?
Yeah, but I don't have time right now.
Oh, you rolling
I
your
told
eyes
Rachel
at
Hubbard
me
I'd help her with
for
the
saying
web
I don't have
project.
time now?
That's too bad.
Too bad I can't play, or too bad I'm helping Rachel?
Both. But mostly too bad you're being subjected to Rachel on your very first
Another
day.
person who doesn't like
She
Rachel.
doesn't seem to be very popular around here.
For good reason. She's got this bizarre schizoid thing going. She'll say something one day, then deny it the next. Or she'll do something, then claim she didn't. She's actually kind of scary.
That is
In
interesting.
fact, it wouldn't surprise me if she's the black cat. You heard about the black cat, right?
Oh yeah, I heard.
See, Rachel flunked a test a couple weeks ago, which means she can't
Flunked
be
a test?
valedictorian.
No,
So maybe
that's
in some
not
twisted
good.
way, she thinks we're to blame and she's using this black cat stuff to freak us all out. Not that it's working. On me, at least. I've won state championships in both soccer and basketball. No way am I gonna let a couple of stupid notes get to me.
Because you're in the running for valedictorian, I need to get a close-up of you for the school website, if that's okay.
No problem. Fire when ready.
Yeah, if you take too long, they'll say, like, get impatient because they can't hold the smile.
I was told I could maybe get a picture of Megan Vargas from you.
Yeah, I've got a picture of her you could use. And if you beat me at a game of air hockey, I'll go get it for you.
Great.
Bring
Bring it
it
on.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay, I know how to play this all too well, but it's difficult to do it
Pick the puck with your
at
mouth
times
and try to get it into the
in
goal
this game.
at my end. And
I love
then
air
I'll hit the
hockey,
puck
but in
towards
real
your
life,
goal.
I
Use
get
your mallet
too
to block
aggressive
it.
sometimes that when I
You
hit
can
the
only
puck
use your
with
mouth
the
on your half of
mallet,
the table.
I end up
First person to
scoring
score 7
on my
goals
side a
wins.
lot.
Got
As
it?
I said, I
Got
hit
it.
too hard because
Then let's get it on.
I get too aggressive. Well, I'll take the blue one. That's my favorite color. So up to a certain point, it gets difficult to maneuver the mallet with your mouse. And so, again, like in real life, I get too aggressive playing like this, and I often end up
One for
scoring
the
on
good guys.
my side at times. But you have to. First person to get 7 points wins. So I need to beat her. It's also just the
I
move.
got a point.
How sometimes the lack of control I have with the well, that's pretty good standing. Lack of control I have with the mantle, with the mouse at the same time can affect my performance of moving it around and
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
my inability to block Leela's shoots or stop myself from scoring in my goal.
Yes.
No, that was a good save.
One
Woo!
for the good guys.
But it's just see, that was my own doing, really. But looks like I came back on top. That was a good save.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, go on and cheer, will ya? See that? See what I mean? My own poor movements in maneuvering the mouse. I score. It's maybe more times that I score for Leela than Leela do it herself. But look, now I'm in the lead. Woo! Yeah, over the line, there's only so far each of us can go before we can't use the mouse. Yes!
Beat me. Nice job. Guess I
Unfortunately,
owe you
she doesn't
picture.
have it.
Next time I go upstairs, I'll get it for you. Want to play again?
No thanks.
No thanks.
So she frowns
Need
and...
anything else?
Are you and Izzy pretty good friends?
We get along. We're roommates mostly because we're both valedictorian candidates, and that's just the way the room assignments worked out.
So you don't like her that much?
I like her fine. She's smart, she's pretty, she's popular, she's always got a boyfriend. What's not to like?
Any idea what happened to the book of post stories?
There's a
that's
button
in
there
the library?
someplace.
I sure don't have it. Mel, our resident goth girl, she probably does.
Oh, so she's the
That
second
book's
girl to
probably
point
working
out
a way to bring it
Mel
back
being
from
a
the
goth
dead
girl.
So we can autograph it.
Do you ever hang out with my roommate, Corrine?
Not if I can help it.
Who does hang out with her?
Mel Corbelis and her are friends. No big surprise. After all, weirdos of a feather flock together.
I've bugged you enough for now.
That's all right. I'm kind of waiting for my boyfriend to call. He goes to Oxborough. That's the boys' school just down the road. Talking to you helped kill the time. I'll see ya.
Okay. Yeah, you could ask her if she got the picture of Megan, but she doesn't have it still. So when I come back after a bit, she'll have it. So I'm going to get pictures of the other candidates. I need to go to Corrine to get her picture, but also ask her if I can get into the shelf, because she's the library assistant.
Hi. Hey, how come I couldn't find anything about you online, like on your page?
Is that a big deal?
Well, yeah. I mean, anyone under the age of like 30 who doesn't have something up on your page either A, has been living on Mars, or B, is seriously weird. And since it doesn't look like either of those applies to you, look at this.
I took my page down because, for personal reasons.
Well, do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah,
Well, who is he? Where does he live? Come on, you can tell me stuff. I'm your roommate.
I'm sorry, but I'd rather not talk about him right now, okay?
Yeah, okay, whatever. So what do you want to talk about?
I met Mel. She's very different.
Yeah, I think that's why we're friends. She did say I was her friend, right? Sorry, that was dumb. There we go, sounding all
Well, she didn't say they're friends exactly, but
Does
they get
Mel have
along.
any other friends?
Mel told me once that when she was little, she used to be really good friends with Waverly's current superstar athlete, Leela Yadav, which is hard to believe because Mel and Leela totally ignore each other now. Something must have happened, but I can't figure out what. Mel says they just gradually drifted apart, but like everyone else around here, sometimes Mel lies.
I met Leela. She was in the rec room.
She's usually in the gym, either bouncing, kicking, hitting, or throwing some kind of ball. You name a sport, she's great at it. And competitive? That girl loves to win.
Oh, I can certainly tell, but she was a good
Some
sport
really
about
competitive people cheat.
losing,
Does
but
she?
because we had to do something for her.
But come on, a jock up for valedictorian? No way. Something's hinky somewhere. And speaking of hinky, she started wrapping her wrist about a week ago, but is it actually hurt? Debatable.
Could she be the black cat?
Well, she's here on a scholarship, so it's real hard for me to believe she's smart enough to, one, secretly be the black cat, and two, divert suspicion by faking an injury and making herself look like a victim of the black cat. But I have to admit, it is possible.
Rachel enlisted me to help her get her web project done.
Better you than me.
In fact, I need to take your picture for it.
Whip out your camera and let's get it over with. Cheese.
Cheese, indeed. Cheese, please.
Any idea where that book that's missing from the library is?
Why? Are you an Edgar Allan Poe fan?
I'd like to find it so I can earn some extra credits.
You and me both. Unfortunately, I don't have a clue who has it.
Any idea why it would be missing?
Somebody must have wanted that book and not wanted anyone to know they wanted it. That's all I can figure.
Did it go missing before or after notes from the black cat started showing up?
Before. Right before, in fact. I see what you're getting at. It was called the Black Cat, wasn't it?
Yep.
That's kind of freaky.
Do you
So
know
does
where
the
I can
black
get the
cat
key to help us
herself
special
have it in her
collections cabinet
possession?
In the library?
You can get it from me. How bad do you want it?
Kind of bad. There's a book in the collection I'd really like to look at.
Okay, here's the deal. I'll give you the key to the cabinet. You can finish these orthographic views for me.
How do
No
I
problem.
do that?
Just figure out which views go with which object. Each object has a front, top, and side view. Those are examples in case you need them.
I can do that.
Bring them back when you're done. Anything else?
I'd better get going. Bye.
Later.
Alright, this won't take any time at all. It's pretty easy to do. Just based on the shapes, figure out where their top sides and fronts are, excuse me. This is probably the easiest. So, like, this looks like the side, but that's actually the front. So, front, that there. This will be side. That's top. Now, for this one, always look just what shapes match up with it. So, that's front. Top and side is this. Let's see, front is here. And now we have this last one. Yeah, that's the top. Front. Okay, Nancy doesn't say if it's correct. We just give it to Kareem to know if it's right or
There you
not.
go.
Looks great. Thanks. Here's the key to the cabinet. Whatever
Okay.
books you take out, be sure to put them back when you're done. They're too old and fragile to carry around.
I will.
And leave the key in the lock. I'll grab it later. Anything else?
I'd better get going. Bye.
Suit yourself.
Alright, now that I think about it, let me talk to Rachel again so I can get her picture.
I'm here.
Oh, that was a text message. Oh,
He is not gonna like that.
that's not good at all.
Hi. Hi. I'm Becca Sawyer. Remember?
Sorry, I totally blanked on your name. You get all the pictures uploaded?
Not yet. For one thing, I need to take a picture of you.
Oh, right. Let's do it. Fab. Listen, be sure to let me know when you get all the pictures uploaded, okay? I can't remember. Did I tell you not to bother with Danielle Hayes' picture?
No, but her name's been scratched off, so that's what I figured.
Sorry. My mind is going all this paper writing, which I kind of need to get back to.
I'll stop hassling you now.
So long.
Oh, one more question. Who do you think the black cat is?
I haven't gotten any notes, so I don't know and I don't really care. See ya.
She hasn't gotten any notes. That's unusual. Okay, let me go back down to see Leela, because I also need to see if she's got that picture of Megan yet.
It's only fair to warn you, I'm not in a very good mood right now.
Because of Izzy and your boyfriend?
Of course because of Izzy and my boyfriend. How could she do it? Did she think I wouldn't mind if she started dating Jacob? Did she think I wouldn't find out? My gosh, it's all
Wow, look at her
over
eyes
school.
bugged out there. Did she think I wouldn't find out? Wow.
Maybe it's more Jacob's fault than hers.
Jacob's just like any other guy, and let's face it, guys are basically sheep. The minute somebody says, hey, the grass is greener over here, boom, they're gone. I just never figured she'd actually make a move on him while he was still dating me. I mean, who does that to their own roommate?
Have you confronted her yet?
No. And you know what? I don't think I will. I'm just gonna act like nothing's wrong. If she's got the guts to bring up the subject, fine. But I'm not gonna say a word. I'm gonna let her wonder just how and when I'm going to get back at her. Because I will definitely get back at her.
Oh,
In the
she's
meantime,
feeling
I'm just
vengeful.
gonna shake it off and get back in the game. What's up, girl?
Did you get that picture of Megan for me?
I've got it right here. But the only way you're going to get it from me is by
Again?
beating me at Scram.
Another.
What do you say?
Same as before.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Yes. Okay. Each game has 2 rounds. You play one round as the blocker and the other round as the scorer, and you take turns throwing the darts. First, the blocker throws 3 darts, then the scorer throws 3 darts, and so on. Now, the object of the game is for the blocker to end the round by landing a dart in any section of all 20 numbers, while the object of the game for the scorer is, naturally, to accumulate as many points as possible before the round ends.
I assume that hitting the bullseye is worth 50 points and hitting the ring outside it is worth 25?
That's right. Once all the numbers are blocked, the roles are reversed, and you play another round. After 2 rounds, whoever has accumulated the most points wins. Just like in regular darts, the harder the section of any number is to hit, the more points you get. So, you ready?
I'm ready. Game on. So, in this round, you're the blocker, and you're going to try to hit the high numbers so they get crossed off the score list.
Oh yeah.
I think I got it. Okay, so now it's my turn to throw, and I get to score. Guess I better go for the high numbers before you take them out.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
I did it! I did it! All right!
Yes. Oh yeah. Gosh, I'm good.
All right!
Oh yeah.
That works.
Yes.
That works. Bingo!
Yes. Yes.
All right! That works.
Nailed it. Nuts. Oh yeah.
I'm blocker this round. I did it!
Nailed it. Nailed it.
That works. Bingo!
Drat.
Yes. Gosh, I'm good.
Bingo! Bingo! That works. That works.
Nailed it. Yes. Gosh, I'm good.
Bingo!
Missed. Blew that. Yes.
I did it!
Okay, so it looks like I'm going to win, so I just but I wanted to concentrate to see if I could do that first before I talked about it. But first round, when it was my turn, the point is you want to get the most points. So get those, score the dart in the highest places, especially the bullseye or the ring around it, while they're still not blocked. And whatever the highest spot is, hit that 3 times before Leela might block it. And now that I'm blocker, now I'm trying to stop her from getting ahead by first getting all the highest numbers.
I did it!
I didn't think I was going to win when she
That
blocked
works.
off the bullseye, but I managed to hit several times in the ring around the bullseye, and I'm going to win now, so it's good standing.
Nailed it!
Now I block off 2 and 1,
All
and I
right.
win.
Nice job. Here's the photo of Megan you wanted.
All right,
Great. Looks like I'll have to take a picture of a picture.
all right. Let me zoom in just a little. That's pretty good.
All done. You can keep it. Thanks.
Okay, now I
Want
got
to play again?
no thanks.
No thanks.
Need anything else?
Is it true you're here on a scholarship?
That's right. Athletic. Full ride. Although I have to maintain
If you
a pretty
play
high grade point average.
Scram or air hockey with Leela several times, you'll get an award at the end.
So it's okay if you aren't the valedictorian?
It'd be okay with the school, but it sure wouldn't be okay with me. No matter what I'm competing in, I always play to win. The nice thing is, I usually do.
What would happen if you got injured and couldn't play sports for the rest of the year?
They
Yeah,
can't
what
pull
about
my
that?
scholarship. So not only would I not be valedictorian, I wouldn't even be able to graduate, which would really shoot holes in my future. So if I get injured again and I find out it's this black cat person's fault, believe me, she's gonna wind up injured too.
You used to be good friends with Mel, didn't you?
That was a long time ago. Before she got all down on sports and into whatever it is that makes her think being weird is cool. I mean, she's not a bad person, but just don't get each other anymore, that's all.
I'll let
Okay.
you go.
Hang in there.
Okay, now I got everybody's picture. Okay, I can't go in here. I do want to point out, on these lamps here, which look like piano keys, are piano notes, and yes, I will have to play them later on the piano here. But I need to know which notes are which, and, the key that I got from the snack shop.
Looks like I need a key.
Okay. This is the one from the closet, opens this. Looks like Leela checked out a menu. Okay. Now that I got everyone's picture, as I was trying to say, like my phone, and I'm gonna upload them to the site. And so, but I'm right here. Just hit download and they'll be, it should be good. Then I'll have to go to Rachel to find out what my next task is. Alright, that's all of them. Oh, and while I'm here, I want to use the key that Corrine gave me. And look at this. Leave the key in the door, as it said. Rita Hallowell. She was one of the founders of Waverly. Oh, why is the magnifying glass turning red right here? Is that outside the building? This must be Hallowell right here. Oh, there's also something else I want to look at on the... yeah, there's different... so outside in the tree is this albino squirrel named Casper. How fitting of a name. Maybe I'll see him. So,
This cornerstone looks different than it did in that book.
yes, it does. It looks like there's a hole right there. Alright, so if I just rearrange these. rearrange these so there's no hole there. Huh, what's that?
Well, hey,
Hey, there's
Luca.
Casper.
What's up? What are you doing? Hey, come back here.
Thief, he stole that token? What was that what
You
it was?
must have some kind of nest up there.
Yes. Huh, this looks like some kind of journal. Journal of puzzles? Usher, her cat. That's the name of her cat. And when I step back... Ah, call.
Hello?
Nancy, hi. I hadn't heard from you and just wondered how you were doing. You at the school?
I sure am.
So how's it going?
Great. The girls I met so far are bright and interesting and seem to like me.
Of course they like you.
I hope so, because I can tell already that where you fit in socially around here is huge.
They got a pecking order going, huh?
And it is brutal, like junior high on steroids.
Just be yourself and you'll do fine.
Me, myself. Ned, I'm a detective. I'm pretty much here to spy on people. If they get wind of that,
Like I said, just lie through your teeth and you'll do fine. What about the case? Any luck tracking down the source of those mysterious notes?
they're being sent by someone who signs them as the Black Cat, complete with a paw print and scratch marks. And only valedictorian candidates have been getting them.
Think someone there has a grudge against brainy kids?
Or one of the brainy kids is trying to get rid of her competition.
Being valedictorian is that big a deal?
It's a very big deal. The valedictorian gets a college scholarship, full ride, school of her choice.
But how smart can these kids be if they're intimidated by a bunch of silly notes?
It's midterm study break. The kids who chose to stay at the school are cramming for tests and madly writing papers. The notes may be silly, but they're still distracting. And some of the accidents that have followed them have been pretty malicious.
Malicious, huh? You're not posing as a valedictorian, are you?
No, I'm not.
Good.
Although I am living on the same floor as they are.
You just had to throw that in, didn't you?
Sorry.
So what is your plan?
I'm going to search every inch of this place and question everybody I see until something or someone leads me to the Black Cat.
And in the process, you're going to be very, very careful.
Right.
Right.
I've met all the valedictorian candidates.
Cool. Tell me about them.
Karine, the girl I'm rooming with, she's not exactly Miss Popularity.
What makes you say that?
So far, I've only met one girl who even halfway likes her.
That's not good.
At this school, it's a disaster.
Keep going. Who else?
Believe it or not, there's a goth living in the room next to mine.
A goth? As in weird hair and disturbing body piercings? At an exclusive East Coast all-girl boarding school?
She's a legacy, meaning the women in her family have been attending Waverly for generations. If you're a legacy, you're automatically accepted. You're not automatically liked, however.
She doesn't have a lot of friends?
Doesn't seem to.
Is she into Black Cat?
Don't know that yet.
Maybe I'm a sucker for obvious suspects, but it sounds to me like you should find out. Keep going. Who else?
Izzy Romero is a valedictorian candidate and student body president.
Is she nice?
She is to me, so far. But that's probably because I'm still new to the pecking order.
She's at the front of it?
Oh, yeah. She rules the roost around here, that's for sure. But she's not without enemies,
Roost rulers seldom are.
especially when they steal their classmate's boyfriend.
Now that's just asking for trouble. Keep going. Who else?
Lila Yadav is Waverly's star athlete, and man, is she competitive. Spends most of her time in the rec room trying to get people to play games with her.
She's a valedictorian?
Yep.
Shouldn't she be studying like everyone else?
Says she's got everything under control, academically at least. Socially, her roommate Izzy just stole her boyfriend.
Yikes. So what's she going to do about it?
Right now, nothing. She's going to let Izzy stew for a while and worry about what she's going to do about it.
This Izzy person could be in for it big time. Keep going. Who else?
This girl named Rachel asked me to help her with a school project.
How'd you get out of that?
I didn't. I told her I'd help her. And actually, it's a good thing. Gives me an excuse to go poking around, talking to people.
So what's this Rachel person like?
Well, no one around here seems to like her very much.
How come? Bad breath? BO? Poor taste in shoes?
She's just strange somehow. Kind of absent-minded. She scares some kids, and she seems to keep to herself.
The quiet loner type, huh? Better keep an eye on her.
All the seniors here get assigned weekly work-study jobs. Guess what mine is?
Cleaning erasers.
No.
Collecting milk money.
No.
Sharpening pencils.
Snack shop boss.
Snack shop boss.
I have to stand behind the counter in the rec room and fill kids' snack orders. If I don't do it at least once a day, I get demerits. If I fill a lot of orders in one day, I get credits.
You sound excited.
I am excited. I like earning credits. I also like listening in on everybody's conversations while I fill their orders.
Ah.
The notes from the Black Cat may have something to do with a teacher named Rita Hollowell.
Oh yeah? What'd she teach?
Literature. At least she did, about 150 years ago.
Excuse me?
She helped found Waverly Academy back in 1866.
And you think she has something to do with notes being sent to students now?
Not only did she have a black cat, but it looks like she hid something very valuable somewhere in Ramsey Hall. That's the old building I'm staying in.
That's interesting.
So I guess the puzzles in that journal will lead
I'm not
us
sure,
to
but if someone does know,
that
it's trying to
she,
find out what
the
happened
item
to
she
the
hid,
kid.
this treasure.
Might explain the notes from the black cat.
You know, you're going to have to be real careful what you ask and tell people from now on. Because if someone is trying to find it and realizes you may be trying to find it too,
I'll be careful, Ned. Don't.
I've heard that one before.
too late.
Time to do some more snooping.
Watch yourself, Nan.
I will, Ned. Talk to you soon.
Okay, before I go back inside, I want to show that the key that I got from Snack Shop, which also goes to that closet, also opens these cellar doors. Nothing really to see here right now, but it'll become pivotal later on in the game. And of all the books there, I can only look at this one.
Sounds like the black cat stalking Izzy.
Like I said, you get an alert, keep looking, because some of them are more important than others. Even if it's just mentioning that I get a credit. Well, I've taken everybody's pictures, so I'm going to ask Rachel what my next task is. Forgot to do that before, because I got distracted.
I'm here. Hey, you got everyone's picture uploaded. Sure did. Fab. Now I need you to lay out the web page. Just get back on the computer, log in, and click on the Meet the Candidates link again. It'll take you to a description of exactly where I want everything to go. No problem. I'll check the page when you're done to make sure everything's kosher. If anything's in the wrong place, I'll leave you a message describing what needs to be fixed. And once the layout is perfect, report back to me, because I'll probably have something else for you to do. I knew you were going to say that. In case I forgot to say it before, I'm really grateful for your help. Maybe someday I can return the favor. Don't worry about it. It'll be nice just having you as a friend. Right.
Alright. So, let me look at the list here. Okay, that's... I thought she gave me a list. Sorry.
Plagiarism? Is that true, or is it just a rumor?
I think the next task will be with the list. That's why I got it mixed up. But okay, using these clues, figure out where everyone needs to be placed. Like here, put Izzy and Mel as far apart from each other as possible. So put them at the opposite ends. And Rachel goes here. Leela, Izzy, Green there, and Megan. And then put their names underneath them, and then where they're from and what they're studying. I know Rachel's from Pittsburgh and loves math, as she told us, but then these clues, Megan's from Concord, loves history. Leela. Oh, so there's a reference to their childhood friendship. Leela's Rhode Island home. Okay, biology and psych student are roommates, so it's Leela and Izzy. Okay, I think that's all correct.
That should do it. I hope.
So I'll report back to Rachel, and then I'll get the list of items I need from her. Probably more photographs. I think, well, yeah, it is.
What? Becca, nice job on the layout. Thank you. What's next?
Next, I need you to take a few more pictures.
Yeah,
Here's
that's...
a list. They're all things that are special to Waverly Academy somehow. Iconic, I guess you'd say. They can all be found on the school grounds. The only one that might be a little problematic is the picture of Rita Hollowell in her cap. She was one of Waverly's founding teachers. There's a couple of references to the picture in the school records.
Yeah, I'm not going to find that until much later, so that'll be the last thing I can get.
I can get a photo of that photo up on the website. It would be such an incredible coup that it might even put you back in the running for valedictorian.
I'll give it my best shot.
Upload them like before. I'll check them when they're up, and if I see any problems, I'll leave a note here on the page. Come back to me when you're done.
I'll stop hassling you now.
So long.
Now, before I forget, let me go talk to Mel about the supposed plagiarism she committed.
Come in.
Oh, what could that be?
That's not very nice.
Nothing
And
gossip seldom is.
It's not true, if that's what you want to know.
So you didn't plagiarize that paper?
Of course not. I mean, I may bend the rules now and then, especially the stupid ones, but I have never cheated on a test or turned in a paper somebody else wrote, ever.
Can you prove that you didn't?
I'm not allowed to try. They've locked my computer account to make sure I don't mess with anything on Paper Trail.
Paper trail?
Papertrail.edu. It's a website all the teachers here go to when they want to compare a paper that's been handed in with papers available on the internet. Students aren't supposed to know about it. Mrs. Arlington, that's my art history teacher, she matched my paper with something on Paper Trail. Not only is it insulting that they think I cheat, but that I do it in such a way that I was sure to get caught. Come on, I am not that stupid.
You think someone's trying to frame you?
Day after Megan left, I found a note under my door. And then, not too long ago, I got another one. Both were from the Black Cat. If I could just get online, I could clear all this up, but I can't. And whoever this Black Cat person is knows it. This is just so frustrating. Unless... Becca, look, I'm not anyone's favorite person at this school. The kids, the teachers. If I get kicked out, nobody's gonna care. They don't deserve this, and I need help. Just before the school booted me offline, I got a glimpse of the IP address of whoever posted the paper I supposedly plagiarized. I didn't get a chance to write it down, but I do remember that none of the digits in it repeated. See if you can track it down. That's all I'm asking. Could you do that, please?
Yeah, I can do that. Sure. Hunting down the facts is kind of a hobby with me anyway.
Here's the paper I got back from Mrs. Arlington. Just go to the
Oh, look,
academic
Creepy Corner's logo
website
from
and
Secret
look
of the Old Clock, the spot that held the record in that secret passage in the Lilac Inn.
I allegedly stole
Again,
from.
love these references to past games.
Thank you, Becca. Oh man, just knowing someone's on my side is a huge relief. Anyway, what's new with you?
Do you hang out with Izzy much?
I don't hang out with her at all. I can't stand her. She's so fake and vacuous. It's like talking to a mannequin.
She
How
she
can
does
be
come off as a bit
and be a
vacuous, I
valedictorian
think.
candidate?
You tell me, and we'll both know.
Is it true you and Leela used to be best friends?
Yes, believe it or not. Of course, that was in grade school, before she got caught up in sports. Now all she thinks about is competing and winning and school spirit. Stuff I just find pathetic.
Do you think she's smart?
Extremely. Which, to me, makes her descent into jockdom even sadder.
Do most kids like her?
I'm not a fan, but everyone else? You bet.
I called Megan Vargas.
Yeah? How is she?
Haven't you talked to her?
No, we're not very close.
Any particular reason why?
We're just not, that's all.
Who do you think the Black Cat is?
I don't do conversations on that subject, remember? Especially when it's so obvious that it's Izzy.
What makes it so obvious?
Izzy doesn't deserve to be valedictorian, and she knows it. She also knows she'll never get into an Ivy League school unless she's valedictorian. So, she has to eliminate the competition.
Do you by any chance have a library book called The Black Cat and Other Poe Stories?
The one that's missing from the library? Sure don't. I've never been much into Edgar. He's a little over the top, even for me.
Maybe I'll pop in again later.
Door's always open.
Okay, I'll help her out with that. Did I miss anything? Just want to make sure in fact, while I do that, I also want to look on the card catalog. Let's see. I think it's right here, yeah. So use it, yeah, what you have to do is put in one of the data source numbers. Anyone will do. Let me try the lowest one, 683. 29.1. All right, so based on Mel's observation, the IP doesn't have any repeat numbers. click the number from the column to enter it. The answer is 6957 284 103 when you click submit.
If the date on this paper is correct, then whoever posted the paper online did so after Mel turned it in, which proves she didn't copy it. Jacob Price. I wonder if that's the same Jacob Izzy allegedly stole from Leela.
In fact, let me talk to her about it while I'm here. I almost forgot. What I also want to do is, because of the puzzles, a couple of the puzzles mentioned here in Holloway's journal, the lamps and the Victorian dining, well, the lamps with the piano, I'm going to put them in the card catalog. Just those key words, see if anything comes up. Okay, so Mel has a book on piano, and Rachel has the book on Victorian dining, so I'll ask both of them for those books. While I'm here, let me talk to Izzy about Jacob.
How's it going? What's this about your stealing Leela's boyfriend?
The guy asked me to Oxbow's holiday bash, and I said yes. Big whoop.
You didn't have a steady boyfriend already?
Not as far as I was concerned. Look, I don't steal boyfriends.
See, she sounds completely remorseless.
Guys are just naturally attracted to me. I know how
Very conceited, I think.
It's the truth. Leela had her chance with this guy. She couldn't cut it, so now he's into me. She's just gonna have to deal with it.
Is it true you just got a second note from the Black Cat?
No, I'm pretty sure the note I got was from Leela. It was a lame attempt to get even with me for stealing her stupid boyfriend.
Do you think she sent the first note too?
Who cares? The Black Cat can send me as many notes as she wants. They're just words on paper.
I'd really like to see that second Black Cat note you got.
Sorry, I did the same thing to it that I did to the first note.
Burned it. The Missing Book of Stories by Edgar Allan Poe. Do you by any chance know where it is?
No. No offense, but some of the questions you ask are kind of strange.
What do you think about Mel and that plagiarism charge?
I'm not surprised. Like I said, she's psycho. She wouldn't think twice about doing something like that.
Apparently someone named Jacob Price tried to make it look like Mel plagiarized her own paper.
You mean Jacob framed her? Yeah, right.
Or maybe the Black Cat framed her.
More likely, Mel did something to make it look like she was framed. Maybe she's trying to frame Jacob. And let's not forget one other thing. Until very, very recently, Jacob was Leela's boyfriend. You want to point fingers? Maybe you should start with my roommate.
I'll catch you later.
Pop in anytime.
All right. First, let me talk to Rachel about the book, because then that'll lead to, then I can get from Mel.
You can in. What? Listen, I know you checked out a book on Victorian dining, but I was wondering if I could borrow it. I'm kind of into Victorian stuff.
Sorry, I need it for the paper I'm writing. But I'll tell you what, if you get my math notebook from Mel, I'll work on that project for a while, and you can borrow the Victorian book. I know Mel's just down the hall, but I'd rather not have to deal with her. Okay?
Sure. One math notebook coming up.
Great.
Well, good luck with your papers.
So long.
Come on in.
Greetings once again.
Was the date on your term paper the date that you turned it in?
Yeah? Why?
Because the paper you supposedly plagiarized wasn't online until the next day. Someone must have gotten a hold of your paper, copied it, and posted it in an attempt
Oh,
to
look at the
make
way
you
her
look
face
like a
changes
plagiarist.
here when I tell her this news.
All the headmistress has to do is check the dates and I'm in the clear. Oh my gosh, Becca, thank you. Thank you. So who posted it? Who tried to frame me?
I don't know for sure, but it kind of looks like Izzy may have been involved.
And again, what a surprise.
Hey, I got something a newbie like you might like to read. Has some interesting information about Waverly.
Thanks.
You can keep it. I know everything I want to know about this place. Anything else going on?
Yeah, so I have several things to tell her. Get the
I
math
need to
book
get
and
Rachel's
ask
math
about the
notebook from
music theory.
Sure. As soon as I remember where I put it. Nuts, I left it in the library.
That's all right. I can go get it.
Why do you want her math notebook?
Well, actually, Rachel,
She wants it, but she didn't want to ask me for it in person.
it's almost like she's afraid of you.
I don't treat her any differently than I treat practically everyone else around here. In other words, for the most part, I totally ignore her. I don't know what her problem is.
That book on music theory you checked out, could I take a look at it?
That's why I did this, to make sure I could ask her in one moment, at one time, rather than coming back repeatedly
Not that I'm
for the
too lazy
questions.
to do it myself, it's just that.
You have a certain image to maintain.
Look, winks at her.
And
Milk and cookies don't exactly enhance it.
Understood. I'll be back.
I guess because it's a thing for little children. Then with her goth image, she thinks that can't hold that image if she asks for
Okay,
something like
people,
milk and
I'm ready
cookies.
to take your orders.
So here I am, snack shop again, so I can.
A
This is a teacher
I
order.
gotta get this one done fast. Get
Yeah,
one fast
teacher
enough,
orders.
I can earn a credit. Too slow, and I'll get a demerit.
Eek. Okay. Tomatoes.
I need to pick up the pace.
Oh well. I think
Okay, people, I'm ready to take your orders.
that can always be random, but I don't.
Another teacher order.
Another teacher order.
Come on, Becca, get a move on. Step right up. The snack shop is open.
I just heard that Ms. Lambert asked Mr. Harris out for coffee. And I just heard he turned her down. All I said was she should try using brown mascara instead of black, and she totally went out.
Order up. Come get your order.
Orange.
Order up, order up. There, all done.
Before I take it up to her, I get Rachel's book, and it's here in the Lost and Found.
I don't see Rachel's math book anywhere because it wound up in here.
And so that's the combination right there. It's 2,641. So I'll give Mel her snack and Rachel her notebook.
Come on in. You've got my snack. Awesome.
Here you go.
Perfect, thanks. All yours. What else is going on?
I better get going.
Drop in anytime.
It's not lost.
You've got my math notebook. Bob, keep that.
Has math always been your favorite subject?
Math? Science is more my thing.
Huh?
But before, you said math
Yes,
was.
she clearly did.
Well, actually, I like both. So I kind of go back and forth. Anyway, the book's all yours. Go ahead and take it.
They're right. There is something, like Leela said, she'll say something one day, deny it the next. So yeah, there's conflicting stories here, and saying conflicting things. So now I'm gonna use those for the 2 puzzles I need from Hollowell's journal. But before I do that, I also want to look at this trophy here. That's an item for which I need a picture on this list. In fact, I need there are 4 items that of which I can take pictures around here, like this, the emblem. Let me go ahead and do that. The other last two items will have to come later. Yeah, this one is hard to do because it has to, like, you have to really, the picture like that won't do. You have to zoom in closer. Can't be too, it has to, like, be just right. I think that might be okay. Okay, I need a picture of the tree here. Oh, there's Casper. Okay, I think, well, I need the menu for that Victorian puzzle, so I'm going to ask Leela if she has it. Here is that trophy. Oh, I forgot the picture of the entrance hall. I'll do it after I talk to her.
Hey, what's going on? Do you think I could borrow the old menu that you borrowed from the display case in the foyer?
Yeah, in fact, I got it right here. I needed it for this lame nutrition paper I had to write. I keep forgetting to put it back. But before I give it to you...
Let me guess. I have to beat you at a game.
Air hockey or scram?
I want something quick, so I'll do air hockey.
Air hockey.
Excellent.
Ooh, purple. I'll take that one. Yes. 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 All right.
Good point.
It's always can be random if I can score like that, but, you know, one so soon after another. But hey, I'm on the roll here, and I don't want to break it. But I probably will.
One for the good guys.
Just weeks ago, when I played Phantom of Venice. I beat Enrico Tazza at Scopa for the second time I played it. I mean, after getting the Sapphire, I beat him at 13-0. Like, I had to play second time for Samantha Quick's fee after stealing the Sapphire, and so I beat him that time, 13-0. And that was one heck of a record. Best one I ever had in playing Scopa. I don't think I'll be able to beat Leela with a score of 7-0, but oh, I did. Well,
There's the menu.
all right.
Thank you.
Need anything else?
It looks like Mel was framed for plagiarism by someone named Jacob Price.
Jacob? You're kidding me. Wow. Izzy's already got him doing her dirty work. That sure didn't take long.
So Jacob didn't have any kind of personal grudge against Mel?
As far as I know, they've never even met. No, he did it for Izzy. The two of them have probably been sneaking around behind my back for months.
I'll check back with you later.
Hang in there.
All right, let me go do those two puzzles with the piano and Victorian dining. Piano. Okay, so this tells me where all the notes are, A0, B0, all the way to C8, that with the notes that I have to play on these two lamps. So let me get started. Okay, so first one is for the first round set of notes, D2, A2, B2, D3, F3, A2, C2, and then down here, those notes are, let's see, E6, A5, B5, C5, E5, B4, C5, G4, C4. All right, and it looks like I get a token with a cat on it. I wonder what was on that token that when I opened up that hidden spot with the journal. I'm going to have to get it back from Casper somehow. All right, I'm not sure if I can put the menu back. But what this tells me, the order in which I have to pull the cutlery according to what kind of meals that they're each for, and the Victorian book will tell me which kind is which, the different kinds of cutlery, the knives, the forks, the spoons. Oh, look at this, it's a student ID. Maybe I can get that, use that to get into the locked classroom. Okay, so what I have to do is that, so according to this list, I have to pull the flatware that, correct flatware associates from oysters to coffee. So that means for oysters, I have the seafood, pull the seafood fork right here. Consomme, the soup spoon. Terrapin, which is for the terrapin fork. And fillet of beef, the steak knife here. The sorbet, the egg spoon. Roast spring chicken, the game knife there. Cheese, that would be the cheese fork. Notice it only has 2 prongs. Vanilla ice cream, that will be the ice cream spoon right here. Sugared oranges will be the orange fruit spoon. And the last one, coffee, is the demitasse. I don't know if I said that. Demitasse spoon. And doing that here, I get another token with an ape on it. All right, well,
Wow, Izzy, yucking it up with Corrine? This is an interesting turn of events.
I don't know. This looks like a fake photo, a doctored photo, I guess you could call it. Well, let me talk to Corrine about this, and then I'm going to set the alarm for nightfall because I've done all I can do for the day, and I sure as heck did a lot.
What's up, Rooney?
Did you get the text message with a picture of you and Izzy attached?
Oh my gosh, was that not too cool? Me just sitting there chilling with my BFF, Izzy Romero. How awesome can you get?
They don't seem.
It was awesome, all right,
She didn't seem to be
but
fond of Izzy
was it
as well.
What, the picture?
Bas-
Of course it was real. All this black cat stuff has brought her and me closer together. It's united us against a common enemy.
Really?
Am I angry the whole school thinks we're suddenly best buds? Of course not. Sure, Izzy might feel a little annoyed by all this attention, but if she does, tough. Welcome to my world, Queenie.
See you in a bit.
Suit yourself.
Okay, so I'm going to set the alarm for midnight. 11 a.m. is when everyone needs to be in bed. Otherwise, you get demerits. So I'm going to set. And there's a reason why I set it for nighttime. Because we see Casper tapping out the window with the token in his mouth. Yes, we have to get it back from him. Like I said, that's why I did this. Okay, and here's a message reminder that seniors must be in their room by 11. So I have to go outside and
What I need is an expert
get the token from Casper, but unfortunately this is a puzzle. I have to pick the right branches to climb up the tree, and he's showing me which ones based on where he jumps. So this one. Now I'm at the bottom of, near the lowest part of the tree, but there are 2 more parts to this. And unfortunately there are more branches to climb with each part of the tree. Okay, so now he's showing me the way branches to pick again. Of course he goes so fast, so I just have my notes here to tell me which ones they are. And be sure you pick the right ones, because it's a fatal move if you don't. Like if you pick the wrong one prematurely, then Nancy will fall to the ground and splat. Okay, now we're at the top part of the tree, so... And again, Casper's showing me the branches to pick. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the top part. That hole is where his nest is. Alright, so that token has a bug on it. What's this, chanting?
What is that sound?
Hey, well, there's 7 people there. 6 are cloaked in black, and it looks like the leader's cloaked in blue. Wonder what they're saying. Well, now that I have the token, I'm going to climb down back into the room, and I'm going to set the alarm, I guess, for 8 a.m. to wake up the next day. I want to go outside then and see if anything was left behind. So now daybreak.
Time to get up already?
Oh,
Nuts.
there goes.
My phone.
Let's see, it dropped down here.
Wait a second. What's this?
Oh,
Looks like Danielle did get a second note from
that
the
she
Black
did.
Cat.
That's the warning we saw in the opening sequence. And is that the state of Oklahoma? Well, I better hang on to this. Well, now I'll go outside.
Hey, guess who just got a note from the Black Cat?
Ooh.
Congratulations. Just don't go all Danielle on me, okay? Stay away from closets.
Don't worry.
Alright, let me go outside and see if they left anything behind. And I gotta take that picture of the entrance hall.
Izzy sounds a tad upset.
Yes, I think I'll talk to her about that as well. Oh, it's starting to snow. Well, that's just the start of it. Gonna be more snow lots of snow by the end. Well, I was hoping to do this without snow in the way, but it's alright. Huh, a barrette. Oh, let's ask around and see to whom it belongs. First, let me talk to Izzy about this faked photo.
Hey, I'm a little busy right now, okay? Because of that picture of you and Kareem, There was no picture of me and Corrine. Somebody obviously used a computer and pasted a couple photos together. So you never hang out with Corrine? Are you kidding? Never. Never, ever, ever. Anyway, I gotta do some damage control, so leave, okay? The sooner I figure out where the pictures used in that composite came from, the sooner I can salvage my reputation. I'll see ya.
Okay.
What's up, Rooney?
I found this beret outside. Thought it might be yours.
Nah, I don't do barrettes. Anything else?
I'll let you get back to your paper.
Enjoy.
So I'll ask around if, but I know who it belongs, to whom it belongs. It smells.
What's the word?
Is this by any chance your beret?
Yeah, it is. Hey, thanks for finding it. I don't know why I bother with these things. They're always falling out of my hair.
I know. This one fell out of your hair at that cloak and dagger meeting you were at last night.
What meeting? I don't know what you're talking about.
I was watching now, from up in the oak tree. I saw you.
I'm not going to tell you anything, so whatever you think you saw, just forget it.
I can't just forget what I saw, and you know it. Mel, look, whatever you tell me will go no further than this room, I promise. I'm not looking for something to gossip about. I just want to know what's going on with you, that's all.
What you saw was a meeting of the Blackwood Society. It's a secret club that someone at Waverly started a couple of years after the school was founded. Only 7 girls a year get chosen to be members.
What does the Blackwood Society do?
We just meet. There's no talking or socializing. We literally just stand around for about 20 minutes and chant. It's more like a tradition, one that keeps going even though everybody's forgotten how and why it started. Everything's totally anonymous. Everyone wears a black cloak, except for the leader. Hers is light blue, and no one ever talks.
Yeah, so the leader was wearing the blue cloak.
About once a month, I'll get a note or a text saying there's a meeting that night.
Who's the leader?
I have no idea. Probably a senior, though. Look, to me, belonging to the Blackwood Society is cool. Not because it's secret and exclusive and all that, but because I like being part of something that someone a long time ago, for whatever reason, thought was important. I like not knowing what the chant means, and I accept all the secrecy and anonymity, because by doing so, I get to be part of a tradition that's more than a century old. I'm sure some girls belong because they're too intimidated to quit, but I belong because the unknown is something I've always felt drawn to.
I can believe that,
Anyway,
I think.
that's it. That's all you're going to get me to say on the matter.
Do you think there's any connection between the Blackwood Society and all this black cat stuff?
I meant what I said before. Blackwood Society? Never heard of it.
I'll let you get back to your music.
Sounds good.
And it's because of that that happened. Alright, so student president's room. So we go to Izzy and Leela's room, but it's locked, isn't it?
Locked. Izzy must be somewhere out. They're still gossiping about me.
Well, that's what the student ID is for. Can use it to break in. Is that Jacob? So this key to Izzy's chest will reveal she's the leader of the Blackwood Society.
Society was wearing.
And the Poe book, as mentioned in the text, though, is in here too. It's right here.
This is the book that's missing from the library. If I return it, I'll get credit points.
Now, I can't take this with me, but this is a clue for it has to do with these tokens. And there are numbers beside them, which are, I don't know if they're supposed to be dates, but they refer to like an order in which the books are put from 1 to, like, a list of 17 of them. I'll have to explain more of it later, but I'm going to take this back to the library to get credits. And before I forget, I'm going to do Snack Shop Boss. Now, with the student ID, I could break in here, but it's not good to do it during the day because Paige will catch me. So after I do my duty at the snack shop, I'm going to set it tonight again so I can sneak in there.
Everybody, snack shop's open.
I just heard Mr. That's why you're bummed.
Come on, what do you think? You were gonna marry him?
Eventually.
You are so lame.
Come get your order. Order up. Order up. Food's ready. There. All done.
Okay, just want to avoid getting demerits for having not done this. Okay, now I'll put this back, and I should get an alert soon after that I'll get credits for returning it. And, like I said, okay, just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So now I'm going to set it to, midnight again, so I can sneak into that locked classroom. Gotta do this fast though, because I don't want Paige catching me. And I got the Oklahoma from my room, so I'm gonna put that on and take a picture, because that's one of the last things I need, picture of the map. But I also need to, this is one reason why I need to come in here, but the other reason was this. This is part of the final puzzle for which I'll get a token. According to Hollowell's journal, I have to press the buttons on those raven from the tail, bill, shaggy breast ruff, and long primary feathers. So the order is here, 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 here. But when I do that,
Oh no, what have I done?
all the states fell off the map, so now I gotta put them back. Alright, start with the outside ones, because those are easiest to fit. Alright, almost finished. Okay, now I get the last token, which is with a raven, fittingly.
That's Rachel. What's she up to?
Yes, what is she up to?
Find out.
So then we cut to being automatically outside her room. Of course, it's going to be locked, so we'll use the student ID to break in. Oh, the door closed, but it leads to a secret room. Okay, so this is a puzzle, and it's not that hard to do. You just have to go over the stars once. Like, you can't go over them again, but this isn't that hard to do. Can't go over the lines more than once is what I'm saying to light up the stars. We're about to find out a big secret with Rachel here.
Oh my gosh!
She's got a
There's
twin
two in
sister!
Please don't tell.
So that's why there was a lack of consistency in the things she said.
Everyone thinks just one of you does? Including the administration?
But we're not hurting anyone. I mean, it's not like anyone else was going to use this room or eat these leftovers. We've been doing this for years, Becca. If we were doing any harm, we would have been found out by now. Our mother's dead, and our father was clueless when it came to raising two girls by himself. We were afraid that unless we somehow went off to boarding school, we'd wind up in foster homes. So we applied for scholarships all over the place, but this was the only one we got. So we decided to share it. And we've only got one more semester. Just one. We're so close. Please don't tell, Becca. Please.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I won't tell. And don't worry, I'm pretty good with secrets.
Thank you.
I just can't believe I'm the only one who knows.
Actually, you're not. Kim? Someone else found out and
Oh, so that's her
blackmailed us
sister's
into
name,
leaving those
Kim.
Black cat notes for other people.
You two are the Black Cat?
No, we just make the notes and deliver them to whomever the real Black Cat tells us to. What are you doing? If she tells they're gonna kick us out anyway, Rachel, she may as well know everything. Maybe she'll even help us.
So you're Rachel and you're
Look at
Kim?
this.
Right.
Kim tucked her hair back. They both have a lock of hair that falls in front of their face.
Email.
But Kim
Just tell us
tucks
from a
hers
different
back.
address.
Rachel's doesn't.
We
Rachel
have no idea
doesn't.
who sent
That's
it
how
out.
you tell them apart.
Well, I guess I could kind of,
And now I can think back when it was Kim
find out who it is.
we were talking
That
to,
would be
not
so
Rachel.
cool. Then we'd know something that person doesn't want anyone to find out. A stalemate. Yes.
So when we
In the
gave the
meantime, my
notebook
sister needs
back to
finish
her,
dinner and
that was
she
Kim
goes.
saying
Nobody
science
cares
is more
about
my
us
thing.
around, but if the new girl suddenly disappears,
So
I understand.
the
I'll see you guys
difference
tomorrow.
is
I mean,
there.
I'll see one
You
of
knew
guys
that
tomorrow.
one
Night.
had to be Rachel at times, the other was Kim, because conflicted the conflictions of what one was saying as opposed to the other. All right, now I gotta start off the day. Need to talk to Izzy because I know she's the leader of the Blackwood Society. Let me do that before I forget.
How's it going? Seeing as you're the leader of the Blackwood Society, I need you to tell me something. All right, who blabbed? Look, that's not important. I just need to hear that chant you guys repeat, word for word. The reason why is very complicated, but I promise you, whatever you tell me, I won't repeat it to anyone, ever. What's in it for me?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Dude, I sure hope you don't intend to go into politics, because you'd stink at it.
I'll owe you one. How's that?
I'll say it once, and that's all. 3 is fine, but 5 is more. Even 19 defeats 4. Should just 7 become lore, at least 2 will find the door. You owe me big.
What does the chant mean?
I have no idea. It's been passed down verbatim since the school and the society was founded. That's absolutely all I know about it. Everything is secret. Like that cloak. I got a text telling me to go to a certain spot. And when I did, there was the blue cloak, along with a note saying I was to choose 7 new members and in the spring, a new leader. Everyone takes a vow of secrecy. Everyone thinks if they break it, they'll be cursed or something.
You believe that?
No harm in hedging your bets. And since you're in on the secret now too, you should probably do the same. Well, now that that conversation's over, forever, what else is going on? I've harassed you enough. Pop in anytime.
Okay, and now that I've got all 4 tokens, I need to go to the cellar. Because there is a spot in there that for which I can use them. Well, now it's really snowing. Alright, right here. So if you remember that list I talked about from the book of post stories, the numbers next to them were dates in a way. So, what you have to do is put these tokens in there in the spots that refer to the chronological order of the stories by those dates. So there are 17 indentations here, just as there are 17 post stories on that list. And the first clue was on that list, the murders in the Rue Morgue with the notate said the ape did it. So the ape token is a clue, and knowing the order of those stories, it's the 6th one in chronological order according to those dates, so it goes here. And as for the others, the black cat is the 14th indent. The gold bug is 13th, and so the raven is on the 15th. And we get a special box here. Blueprints.
This was the photo of
the
Rita
photo of Hollow and her cat that Rachel wanted.
I need to take a picture
Take a picture of it.
and upload it to the website along with the other icon photos. Rachel is going to be thrilled.
I will tell you also, you can also use these tokens to get an Easter egg on this panel right here. When you, from top to bottom, you put the tokens in order, in this order. Cat, bug, gorilla, and raven. There's one Easter egg. I'll do a video showing how to get all of them in the future, though. Now I've got all the 6 of those photos that Rachel wanted, so I'm gonna download them. Hopefully that one of the school emblem will meet her satisfaction. Let's see. Right, so just download them like I did before with the others. Now I'm gonna go see Rachel. If she can't talk to me, it means something's wrong with the photos, and and she'll leave a note saying they need to be redone. But let's see if that happens.
You can come in. Okay.
All right, so they were okay.
You even found that picture of Hollowell and her cat. Great job. There's just one more thing I need you to do, and then you'll be done with me. Us.
What is it?
One of my web pages has to include the essay Corrine wrote that won the English department's coveted Pen to Paper award. So get a copy of it from her and upload it to the site, and that'll be that. Any idea who the real black cat is yet?
No, but don't worry, I'm working on it.
My sister says I shouldn't get my hopes up, but I can't help it.
Would you happen to know anything about the official blueprints of the school that are missing from the library?
They're missing?
So you've seen them?
That's how I knew this room connected to the attic, but I don't have them and I have no idea who does.
Yes, let's ask her about the test, because I think I have an idea of why she flunked it.
What happened?
Turns out,
my sister attends some classes and I attend others.
Yeah, so
chemistry was one of hers.
Even though they're under one name, Rachel doesn't actually attend all of the classes under her name.
That was the
Her sister does.
To surprise the class with a test. Needless to say, I failed miserably.
And now let's tell her we can tell them
Now that I've
apart.
seen you and your sister together, I'm pretty sure I can tell you apart.
That's impossible. We're exactly the same, right down to our handwriting. No one can tell us apart.
You're Rachel, aren't you?
You just guessed.
Nope.
Your sister does this hair tucking thing. You're probably so used to seeing her do it that you have no idea you don't.
Thanks for the tip. I've got to get back to work.
All right. Let me go talk to Corrine then. Uh-oh. What's happened now? I'll talk to her afterwards.
What's up, Rumi?
For the webpage I'm helping Rachel put up, I need to get the essay you wrote that won the Pen to Paper Award.
Oh yeah, Rachel mentioned that. I didn't think my paper was that great, but for some reason the entire faculty went totally gaga over it. I'll copy it onto a flash drive for you. But while I do that, could you do me a favor?
Sure, I guess.
I'm absolutely starving, and since you're snack shop boss...
Okay, that'll give me the excuse to do snack shop for the day.
Apple, some juice, and a candy bar, okay? As soon as you do, I'll give you the essay.
You got it.
Excellent.
Uh-oh.
Guess who just got a second note from the Black Cat?
You're in for it.
Okay, everybody. Snack shop's open.
All right.
Another teacher order.
Teacher order.
Food's ready. Attention, everyone. As of now, the snack shop is open.
I'm thinking of asking Ben Sturgis to the winter ball. You can't. She's dating Heather. No, I heard she's gonna break up with him. After the ball, you know, he's off. Burgundy is so not my color. Why can't our uniforms be teal, black and white?
Order up. Come get your order. Food's ready. Order up. There. All done.
All right. Now I'll give that to Corrine.
Yay! You've got my snack.
Yep. Enjoy.
Thank you. That is so good. Here, keep it as long as you want. The essay's the only thing on there.
Great. Thanks.
Anything else?
I'll let you get back to your paper.
Suit yourself.
All right.
Wow. When it comes to Mr. Poe and maybe Miss, or should I say Nurse Hollowell, looks like Corrine's a bit of an expert.
And now, before I forget, since we're here, let's talk to Izzy about what's going on with her.
That favor you owe me, you can return it right now by finding out what happened to my term paper. It's not on my computer anymore.
When did you discover that?
When I got back from breakfast, I turned my computer on and nothing was there. It's like my whole hard drive's been erased.
4 weeks of research and writing are just gone. I'm gonna have to start all over and turn it in late, which means no A for the course and no... Somebody deliberately did this to me, and I want to know who. So you find out. Until you do, just leave me alone.
Okay, we're almost at the end here, and there's just 2 more things I want to do. Report back to Rachel. Ask if she sent me the latest note.
What? Hey, Becca, thanks for uploading that essay.
Why did you send me that note?
What note?
I got a note from the Black Cat. A second note.
I didn't send it. We didn't send it.
Okay, this is Kim,
Yes, but that
not
was
Rachel,
it. You got
because she
another
tucked her hair
note.
back.
It must be from the real Black Cat.
Must be.
Look, I don't have any more assignments for you, so thanks for all your help.
Alright, now let's go to my room. There's something I want to check out there.
Corrine, you here? It's not.
No, she's not. But I do know where she is. According to this, she's in the cellar. But there's also something else to look at here. Is that Izzy's password? Steps to reform. She erased her essay? Kareem did this? Let's go find her. It looks like if she's in the cellar, let's go confront her about this. Oh, look at the footprints in the snow. Guess she went down this way. Well, those footprints could also be Nancy's too, but something right here.
Noise.
Yes. What
Sounds
is
like
that?
it's coming from the other side of the wall.
Is that where she is?
That's interesting. The old set of blueprints shows a tiny room behind the furnace, which isn't on the modern blueprints. And the modern blueprint includes a drawing of the furnace and a bunch of numbered valves. Dupin? I've seen that name before in Hollowell's journal.
Is this where the treasure is? And look at these numbers here on the valves. They go as high as 19. Well, you know why? We have to pull these valves according to the chant. 3 is fine, but 5 is more even. 19 defeats 4. Should just 7 become lore, at least 2 will find the door. So that means I pull on these levers. That's 3 is fine, but 5 is more. Even 19 defeats 4. Should just 7 become lore, at least 2 will find the door. So that was the correct sequence. And as you can see, the snow just fell on the cellar doors, so I have to go out this way. And at the other end here is the Black Cat. Corrine?
What are you doing here? Apparently the same thing you are. Looking for the treasure Rita Hollowell hid. Is that it? What is it? An old manuscript?
By Edgar Allan Poe, never published. He told her where it was when he was on his deathbed. When he died, she took it and ran off so Rufus Griswold wouldn't end up with it. At least I think that's what happened.
You found all that out while you were researching that paper?
When I do research, I do research. Although, truth be told, all I knew with relative certainty is that she'd hidden something in this building. I wasn't sure where.
Which is why you became the Black Cat.
I'm not the Black Cat. I didn't leave those
No,
notes.
you blackmailed someone else
No,
into doing it for
blackmailed
you.
someone else into doing that for you.
Two
someone's
someones.
actually.
You're pretty smart. The question is, are you smart enough to live to tell the tale? I don't think so.
Yep, so she takes the treasure and we're trapped. And yes, this is a puzzle. This is a nod to the pit and the pendulum. So this will be a dangerous puzzle that is fatal. So what we have to do is we have to put these plates here so that they match up with the shape, but pull a certain sequence to match them up with the shapes, and then pull the gold handle. So then this comes next. And notice each time I pull the gold handle, like there are fewer shapes in them. So that's, make sure then you pull the gold handle after putting each plate in place. Alright, so that succeeded, and the pendulum will go back up before it can slice Nancy to death. And now we go through this way, and we are at the, that's the end of the game. This is the end, but I'm saying we'll see what happens following the Black Cat's capture.
No, forget it.
You're not going anywhere till you tell me what the heck is going on.
Come on, Mel. It's too long a story. I need to go.
You just entered my room through the wall. I want an explanation.
So that's where
I'll
the
explain later.
passageway
Now
led
let me
to.
cast.
Stay right there, Mel.
You too? What is this?
Well, for Corrine, it's over. Because of all the meticulous research she'd done, Corrine knew Rita Hollowell had hidden something written by Poe somewhere in Ramsey Hall. But without the clues that my investigation eventually uncovered, her only hope of finding it was by searching the entire building. And she couldn't do that unless most, if not all of its occupants spent midterm break elsewhere, leaving their rooms unoccupied. So, she resurrected an old Waverly legend and attempted to frighten her classmates away with notes from the Black Cat, followed by well-timed accidents. And, having stumbled upon Rachel and Kim's secret months before, she blackmailed them into writing and delivering the notes for her, so that if anything went wrong, they would take the blame. But thanks to me and to Mel, who wouldn't even let me out of her room until I told her everything, Corrine got the blame and was promptly expelled, which is kind of too bad. She would no doubt have graduated at the top of her class if her greed, guile, and subconscious desire to retaliate against her classmates hadn't gotten the best of her. But some good did result from all this. For one thing, Megan's parents dropped their threatened lawsuit and allowed her to return to school. Fully recovered from her allergic reaction, she threw herself into her studies with a vengeance. Now, with Corrine out of the picture, the valedictorian contest has turned into an academic knockdown drag-out between Izzy, Lila, Mel, and Megan, which is a good thing. Not pretty, but good. Anyway, as for Rachel and Kim, Corrine made sure they got expelled too. But when some of Waverly's more influential alumni heard what had happened, they insisted the twins be unexpelled and even pay their tuition and board for the rest of the year. They contended that the audacious fraud Rachel and Kim had perpetrated stemmed from their determination to get a good education, and parents should be rewarded, not punished. And you know, I have the feeling Rita Hollowell, and maybe even her idol Mr. Poe, who was pretty darn good at making fiction seem like fact himself, would have very much agreed.
All right. All right, where's the first? Yellowstone, just as I thought. Oh, 4 of them. Nice. So let's go on to the credits, or the teaser for the trailer of the Twister, the next game, and
I don't
the
know
credits.
about you, but tornadoes have always fascinated me. So when I'm told a team of tornado chasers down in Oklahoma is having strange, sometimes life-threatening problems with its equipment,
I wonder if
and
we
I'm
picked
asked
up
to join
that
the teams
Oklahoma
like
piece
try to
because
figure
it's
out
a
why,
cheeky nod to the
I
fact that
immediately
this
say
next
yes.
game takes
But
place
once I
there.
arrive in Tornado Alley, I
Nice
quickly
going, her
discover that a line of
interactive.
storms
You really
severe enough
know how to
spawn
be
a
subtle.
record-breaking string of twisters is not my biggest problem. I must also survive the diabolical actions of a teammate bent on sabotage. Join me as I learn firsthand which is more dangerous, Mother Nature or human nature, in my next adventure, Trail of the Twister.
I think they can be equally dangerous. Okay, that's my walkthrough of Warnings at Waverly Academy. I thought this was really interesting that it took place in boarding schools so that all of the suspects in this game are female, and it's rare for that to happen in other games. So there were also 5 suspects in this. Most games on average have 4. I mean, Stay Tuned for Danger was one that had 5, although it had 6 characters if you want to count Ralph the security guard, but he's not a suspect. Of course, the last few games, there are outtakes after the credits, but I think the more awards you get, the more outtakes there will be, but I will make a video of that in the future. I want it to be a separate thing from this walkthrough, because I think an individual video of outtakes for each of these games, once I get all the awards, that'll be fun to watch. Oh, so Rachel and Kim are voiced by the same person. Well, no surprise there. That was a really cool twist, I have to say. We always hear about like an evil twin trope in media. Not that this was evil twin, but a secret like that is definitely something cool to notice. Okay, so this brings an end to my commentary on my walkthrough of Warnings at Waverly Academy. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed playing it. I'll see you in the next walkthrough video. Bye.